This is Soili. Welcome to the second episode of my newly published YouTube thing. 10:30. I'm at the studio. I just finished rolling the mat off, giving me some good surface to dance on. And now I'm taking my book out from the backpack and opening it. I have these books, one per each project for each performance that I'm creating, since I think this is my third with this specific size and model. And I really enjoy it. The paper is like a really nice texture. Warming up usually takes 10 to 30 minutes, depending on what I've been doing the day before or the same day earlier, if the studio session is in the afternoon or in the evening. So what I will be working on today, at least I'm trying to, I often just come to the studio and start to move and then get curious about something. But now, earlier this week I worked already with this kind of mix of movement motifs, textures, kind of logics, why the movement is happening the way it is. And there is like, in this, there's a bunch of stuff that is happening at the same time, and I decided that this week I'm gonna just try to differentiate them a bit. I started earlier with two different kind of things. First, this kind of shapes created by different body parts working in synchronization and constantly breaking that synchronization, and sort of really cutting quality and not continuous at all. And then finding different rhythms with this. This was sort of one layer of the whole bunch of stuff. And then the other one was this kind of sensation within the body, and largely also in the back of the body. This kind of sensation of spirals traveling through the body being the sort of main focus while moving. At the same time, when this moving connects a bit to the other things, other layers in the collage of things that are present in this thing. So two things, this kind of really cut, rhythmic, different kind of shapes, and exploring this a bit, and then this kind of a bit soft as well, yeah, this kind of spiral quality. Because in Blaa Blaa my aim as a choreographer is, one aim is to mix really different textures. I enjoy seeing this kind of really fully present body on stage, and for me that has a lot to what creates that sensation for me as a audience is some kind of connection to the gravity that I can see in the performance body, that they are informed. Because, you know, if you are stressed or whatever, you can cut certain, for example, if you're really stressed, you can just hold your shoulders up and they are not really like connected. But so you can sort of isolate some parts of your body, not feel them maybe, if you're really this is what trauma also can do, that you don't necessarily have these sensations in certain areas of the body. So it can be this kind of just not using some part of the body, somehow cutting it off the mesophageal loop, I don't know what's the word, loops, or like this that the one muscle connects to the other and then the other and then the other, and this kind of systems are existing in the body. So there's that. I want to incorporate that in my choreography as well then, obviously. So yeah, that's present. Okay, now I want to stop talking and start moving before I get too cold. Now I'm gonna try something on the floor that I wasn't planning to work on specifically today, but it's sort of a variation of the other one of the two, the spirals in the body, but with a different music that is a lot heavier. And earlier, like December last year, I was working a lot with this music, and on the floor, but I haven't gone back to it too much. So now moving back there made me feel like this might be interesting to connect with that. So that's why I now will work a bit for a moment with that. Let's see, I didn't take my knee padding, so let's see if I actually manage to do this. It has been really freeing for me for the past, let's say, yearish, to really think about myself as mainly a choreographer. That helps me to work with the movement without the need for my body to be able to finish it perfectly. I can just assume that the performer, dancer is going to be doing that part. So yeah, you can have that in mind as well. I just watched myself from video. I often do that in the studio because, it gives you a feedback loop on how, because often things feel and look a bit different, and something that felt great doesn't necessarily look great, and vice versa. So it's kind of nice reflection point when you work alone in the studio. And of course, then you always get the recording, so you can go back to things more easily. Video helps me to not be so stressed about forgetting everything immediately. Although I also believe that, or at least my experience is that the things that you actually want to be there, they will come back. So it's a balancing act of digging really deep and somehow finding the core of something that you are creating, and then from that digging coming up with something, and then from another somehow angle, like for example doing like really briefly something and then getting at that on video, and then realizing, okay, that looks really great, I actually want to keep that just as it is. And then the relation to the thing that was created can be really different, and somehow the orientation, or like maybe the reason why you want it there, it creates another kind of thing. It can create like meaningful anchor for some topic to be present, or just gives the overall work like texture, or like something that is really intriguing for the eye, and then that can help be a counterpoint, or just be there as a beautiful thing in relation to something else that is maybe then more from the topic and more dark from the deep down under of the consciousness or the body, or maybe they're the same, who knows.
I just wanted to share this clip because here I sometimes have this, that I have an idea in the studio that is not coming somehow organically from the body, but I just have this image in my head. Okay, I would like to do this. And here I'm explaining, like, I would want this leg to go like this and this, and then I would just glide. Yeah, it's not what I imagined, but I had fun doing it. And yeah, it's just hilarious sometimes to have this vivid images of some specific thing that you don't know if you can do or if it makes any sense, and then you try anyway, and you can just laugh your socks off to the whole thing and how funny it feels in the body. I kind of love this, feeling funny in the body. It makes the whole learning so much more pleasurable, and the discovering a bit more easygoing instead of this rigid-minded, always really serious kind of effort to create something great. It doesn't have to be great always. It can't be.